ourselves about courtesy words and how to use them. For example, when asking for something, you say, please, please help me with a book. It's all about being polite.
Can you imagine if you saw a tortoise flying? Yes, the tortoise. Well, the story today will be about a tortoise who loved to fly. Well, let's find out what he did about it. The story is The Ducks and the Tortoise. A tortoise was tired of crawling. All he ever seemed to do was to crawl. The house on his back was big and heavy, and his 4 stumpy legs were short and weak. Walking made him feel very, very tired, and running was impossible for him. So he crawled everywhere so slowly. He could swim, but that became boring after a while. And, well, being underwater, well, all he really wanted to do was to see the great world above. I wish I could fly like the ducks, he said. When the ducks landed near him, he crawled to them. Will you teach me how to fly? Please? Tortoise asked the ducks. You can't fly without wings, said the ducks. Anyway, you're quite the wrong shape. With your big round house on your back and those short, stubby legs, you would look ridiculous. But Tortoise cried and begged and pleaded with the ducks. And finally, the ducks got tired of this silly, pestering tortoise and decided to teach him a lesson. You can fly up in the sky just like that, said one of them. But we can take you up with this stick. All you have to do is to hold it in your mouth. And there you have the 2 ducks, the tortoise, and the stick that is going to help him to fly. The ducks took hold of the stick at each end, and the tortoise grabbed it in the middle. And the ducks then spread their wings, and up they all went. Ooh, can you imagine? Tortoise up there, flying high up in the sky. They flew over a village. The people in the village were amazed to see a tortoise up in the air. Who had ever seen such a thing? It was such a strange sight that they stared and they waved their arms. Tortoise saw the people waving, and it made him feel very proud. They must think that I am a really clever tortoise, he thought. Yes, he was the only tortoise in the world who could fly, and he had to tell them. Now, remember, Tortoise was holding the stick. What was he using to hold the stick? He was holding the stick with his mouth. And Tortoise said, "Look, I can fly." What was he using to speak? The same mouth. And of course, if you're speaking, you have to open your mouth. "Look, I can fly," Tortoise shouted, opening his mouth, which was not a very clever thing to do, of course. What do you think happened next? Yes, when the tortoise opened his mouth, he let go of the stick and thump, he fell down. Well, that is the end of the story, except that the tortoise decided that maybe flying was not such a good thing after all, at least not for him. And that is why today, when you meet the tortoise at the museum or in the forest, he is not flying up in the air, but he is crawling. as he has always done. Well, I know that sometimes you see people doing other things and you wish you could really do them. But know that each one of us is unique. What you are good at might not be the same thing that your friends are good at, or your brother, or your sister, or your mother, or your dad. So find out what you are good at and do it really well. My name is Wangari the Storyteller, and from me, today is goodbye.